So welcome back to my channel, guys. So today we're going to be doing something really cool. So we're going to be contracting verbs. So why do we need to contract verbs? Although this is not obligatory, like you don't have to do that all the time, obviously. But it's really good to know that all the forms, all the verbs forms and all that. So let's get started. So the first one is the verb is. So the contracted form is, the negative form is not. And the fastest way to say that is isn't. So I am going to be giving examples for every single verb. So for this one is, let me think. He is always right. He is not always right, and he isn't always right. So that's how you can say that. So now let's talk about are. So what is the negative one? Is are not. So the contracted form is aren't. So the example is going to be, they are really funny. They are not that funny. They aren't that funny. See how it sounds? So let's move on to the word am. So actually, I've recently discovered this is like crazy to say, but I've never seen the contracted form of am as AMN'T. Like, it's crazy. The spelling is going to be somewhere over here. So basically AMN'T is really archaic, and it's really old-fashioned, so you shouldn't really bother. But you should know it. AMN'T, you can use AMN'T for every single word that I've just mentioned, like for the are, for the aren't, and for the isn't. So you can say, this ain't that important. This ain't that important. But yeah, also keep in mind that ain't is not for every single situation, so you really want to use it wisely, and you really want to use it in really informal situation, like maybe with your foreign speaking friends or someone else who's ready for the informal conversation. So you definitely should not write it in your essays, any kind of report or proposal, any kind of academic writing. So, will. So what is the negative form of will? It's will not. Okay, and the contracted negative form is won't. So she will go shopping. She will not go shopping. And she won't go shopping. This one is was. So the negative form is was not, and the contracted form is wasn't. So he wasn't aware of his actions. He was not aware of his action. And he was aware of his actions. So the next one is were. The negative form is were not, and the contracted form is weren't. So they were happy. They were not happy. They weren't happy. So you just say they weren't happy. This fast. Do not, and don't. So they do it every day. They do not do it every day. And they don't do it every day. So the next verb is the do in the past. So it's did. The negative form is did not. And the contracted one is didn't. She did it. She did not do it. And she didn't do it. The verb does, doesn't, does not, and doesn't. She does it so well. She does not do it so well. She doesn't do it so well. The next one is have. Have not and haven't. They have finished their job. They have not finished their job, and they haven't finished their job. So yeah, it's pretty similar with the verb has. So it's has not, and hasn't. And with the word had. So had is pretty much just have in the past. So had not, and hadn't. Now let's talk about can. So actually it's really important to know the spelling of cannot. And yeah, so the first form is can, then cannot. This is how you spell it. And of course can't. So I can do it. I cannot do it. I can't do it. So now for the can in the past. You use could, could not, and couldn't. She could do it. She couldn't do it. And she could not do it, right? Here we go, guys. That was basically it for today's video. Like it if you really love the information that I'm giving to you. And yeah, don't forget to download the pronunciation book, because that will literally just make your speech, like it will bring your speech to the next level. So not only you gonna understand natives better, because listening and speaking is just like everything, and they don't go separately, they always go together. Okay, so the better you hear the sounds, the better you produce the sounds, you know, and the more fluent you become, and the faster and more clear your speech becomes. I'm gonna see you in my next video. Bye.